Seattle City Attorney. The City Attorney is the head of the law department and appoints all assistant city attorneys, city prosecutors, and other department staff. The City Attorney supervises and controls litigation in which the city or any of its departments is a party. The City Attorney also provides legal counsel to all city departments and to elected and appointed officials. The City Attorney is elected for a 4-year term.
I'm Ann Davison, and I'm running for Seattle City Attorney because our city must reconcile that it is failing to meet the needs of the most vulnerable, as well as the basic functions of protecting public health and safety. When I moved to Seattle in 1996 for a job in the Sonics front office, our city had found a way to meet those needs. Before my first child was born in 2008, walking to the courthouse downtown was safe. But by the time I had my second child in 2011, our streets were becoming dangerous. Now, employees and jurors are told not to use the main entrance because it's so unsafe. The same can be said for many of our neighborhoods. My kids began to ask questions about why people were living alongside Seattle's roadways in unconscionable conditions, less humane than in a UN Cambodian refugee camp where I worked with people fleeing civil war. Even our children know what's happening in our city isn't right. The City Attorney is a critical link to public safety, downtown and in our neighborhoods, deciding when to prosecute many types of criminal activity. I will provide balanced leadership that makes us smart on crime, proactive, not reactive. I will be a collaborative leader, bringing compassion, seeking progress, and establishing working relationships within our city and region to restore public safety. I'm proud to be endorsed by retired Seattle Municipal Court Judge Ed McKenna, former King County Prosecutor Chris Bailey, Seattle Opera Board member Louise Miller, and Tom Hansen, a Seattle author decades in recovery. You can see more endorsements at neighborsforann.com. By fixing this critical link of public health and safety, we begin to see improvement in the livability of our city. With your vote, we can create a safer, more compassionate city for all of us.
My name is Nicole Kennedy, and I'm running for City Attorney. In my years as a public defender, I witnessed up close how the city wastes millions of dollars every year prosecuting BIPOC, the poor, and the disabled. We need a sharp pivot away from these reactive and punitive models. They clearly aren't solving Seattle's most glaring problems. My office will instead focus on solutions to larger problems in order to fulfill the promises of our city charter, to protect and enhance the health, safety, environment, and general welfare of our people. While the county deals with serious felonies, the city attorney only deals with misdemeanors, low-level or petty crime. I have witnessed hungry people prosecuted for stealing food and unsheltered people prosecuted for things like stealing socks. This is not money well spent. The war on drugs is an expensive failure. Money spent criminalizing drug possession should go into community-based diversion and harm reduction programs, staffed by people who best understand these complex issues of public health. By isolating and destabilizing people for petty crime, the current city attorney has undermined the very things that create public safety. We must stop prosecuting the vast majority of misdemeanors and streamline the budget so these wasted millions can be reinvested back into the community. As Seattle's attorney, I will work to stop the sweeps and overturn the apartment ban. I will aggressively protect tenants' rights and workers from wage theft. My office will undertake litigation that challenges the ban on rent control and affirmative action. Seattle should be a national leader on climate justice. We must divest all city pensions from fossil fuel corporations and break ties with the banks that fund them. We must instead invest in environmentally responsible companies that will grow as the world changes. I'm Nicole Kennedy, and I'm running for Seattle City Attorney because we don't need to choose between punishment and safety. The people of Seattle deserve a candidate with new yet practical solution to our city's most critical problems, built on a foundation of justice and equity.
Hi, I'm Pete Holmes, your elected city attorney. As Seattle recovers from the pandemic and addresses critical issues of policing, criminal legal reform, and turnover at City Hall, I'm proud to provide consistent, principled, and progressive leadership for our city at a time when we need it most. Seattle elects an independent city attorney to provide important checks and balances with the mayor and council and advocate for the people of our city. Our office prosecutes misdemeanor crimes and supports victims impacted by domestic violence, drunk driving, and assaults. We lead on police reform and hold powerful corporations accountable. Now is not the time for an untested voice in this vital office. We partner with proven diversion programs to help people afflicted with addiction, behavioral health issues, and poverty to get treatment and support instead of cycling through jail. We're removing firearms from our streets and fighting for stronger gun laws at every level. As the former chair of the OPA Review Board, police reform is close to my heart. I've personally led our decade-long partnership with the Department of Justice to reduce excessive force at the Seattle Police Department and earn the praise of the Federal Monitor. But we have more work ahead, with a new mayor next year, searching for a new chief, and bargaining a new police contract. We tackled equity priorities like vacating marijuana convictions, fought Trump's racist immigration policies, and defeated Tim Eyman's attacks on transit. Now, we are defending our right to tax wealthy corporations, hold polluters accountable, and keep people housed post-pandemic. I'm honored to have the endorsement of progressive leaders like Attorney General Bob Ferguson, Prosecutor Satterberg, city and county council members, state legislators, the Alliance for Gun Responsibility, MLK Labor Council, local Democratic groups, and many more. I'd appreciate your vote.